Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well and had a good Christmas and New Year's holiday. This is my first video back in 2021. If you guys haven't checked out the models that I've got planned coming this year, please go and check out my video on what to expect in 2021, some of the models that I've got on pre-order and planned coming this year. And I look forward to sharing all those models with you. Also, I've just noticed that the channel has surpassed 300 subscribers, which is really good, really great. Thank you to everyone who's subscribing, who's commenting, who's liking the videos. It's really nice to see, and it's crazy to think that the channel was around 250 subscribers over Christmas and how quickly it's grown. So thank you to everyone who is who's liking the videos and who is subscribing. I've got a lot more planned throughout the year, and if you guys want to see what is scheduled to come, some of the models, please go and check out that video that I've just said. It's about 2 or 3 videos down, and it will give you the rundown on some of the model cars that will come in 2021. But in today's video I am going to be doing another in-depth review on my Minichamps McLaren MP4-12C, finished in the volcano orange, the classic McLaren colour. This is kind of McLaren's first supercar, first road car. Really, this is the car that kind of kicked off McLaren and with all the other cars that they made. Now, if you're new to the channel, you probably wouldn't know this, but I recently did a video about Minichamps models and how I always think that they are really overpriced for what you get. Like, for example, I would rather kind of have a Maystone model in my collection, like this Dodge Viper, over the Minichamps model, and I will come back to the Maystone model and tell you why, and also tell you why that Dodge is probably better value for money than the more expensive Minichamps version. So let's start off with the McLaren first, and also I've got loads more 143 content planned as well, so stay tuned for that if you're a 143 collector. But let's start off with the McLaren. The Minichamps have always kind of fell behind from Auto Art models. I feel that their price is exactly the same as Auto Art pretty much. But you don't get anywhere near the same level of detail that you would see in Auto Art models. So I'm going to be doing a review on this and also a comparison against the Maystone version. So let's start off with the front end of the MP4 to walk you through it, all the details, what to expect, and the pros and cons of this model car. So first of all, the paint application by Minichamps is really good. The volcanic orange, I believe is the official McLaren colour code, is superb. It looks incredible, and it is very good. It's the same quality, I think, from a high-end resin model car. You've got a really nice depth in the paintwork. It is very metallic. I'm trying to get it under the bright lights to show you guys. There is a nice metallic fleck in it, and it is worth the money that you've paid for the model. So you do get a very good paint application. The badge in the middle is a nice McLaren badge. It's just a sticker, but it's nice. It's not like a badge that you would see on Auto Art or even a Kyosho model, but it is just a sticker. It is quite nice. It does the job. and it does look quite prominent on the front. The headlights I feel are a bit foggy, a bit misty. Let me know in the comments if you have the same kind of problems, but the front end of the model in terms of the headlights I don't think are very realistic. You've got the plastic lens is quite foggy, you can't see clearly the headlights, and I just think overall they could have done a bit better there. Also, another thing that really annoys me with this model car is the front splitter here. It's all finished in this really cheap looking plastic material, and there's no real metal mesh behind these air vents at the front. So you look in and it's just plastic. Now this car new was over £200. It's about $250, and for that kind of money you would expect a lot more detail and a lot more levels of details when you go through the model. You've got the plastic grills on the front, which are not even finished in a nice material, and then you've got no metal mesh behind, which is even worse in my opinion. So again, the front end of the model is slightly disappointing, and I just don't think Minichamps, they could have used wider ranges of materials, they could have done things differently, but I think they just wanted to make it as cheaply as possible, and it does show in the model car. So let's look at the side of the model and have some of the details here. Now again, with Minichamps, if we look at the wheels, the calipers, the disc, again very plasticky, not a lot of detail there. Firstly, the calipers are done okay. You can see the McLaren badge and text on the caliper. Looks okay. The discs do go through the caliper. You've got the McLaren badge in the centre of the wheel, and then you've got the 5 wheel nuts. The whole wheel doesn't look great, and the tyres doesn't look great either. The calipers don't look very good in my eyes. I prefer the Maystone calipers, and if we just do a quick glance over with the Maystone version, again, considering the price of this model, you can see pretty much the same level of detail on the Minichamps model. So you've got good details on the calipers, and if you can just about see that, is you've got the Dodge and the Viper emblem on the calipers. The calipers are finished in black. Again, they go through the discs go through the calipers, and the discs have got much better detail on than the Minichamps version. So the holes in the disc for coiling are real holes, they go right the way through. The whole wheel looks better. You've got the Dodge badge in the middle, so you have exactly the same level of detail on a cheaper $30 Dodge than you do on the more expensive Minichamps version. And now, as you can see, the discs on the Minichamps version are they don't even go all the way through. They're just for show really, and I don't think it looks good. If you have a Auto Art Signature model or a Kyosho model, you'll see huge differences in details with the whole rim, discs and calipers than with Minichamps. So that is a big kind of downer on Minichamps models, how they've just neglected important parts of detail. So now that we've done that, let's also look in the air vent on the side is finished with real metal mesh, which is good again, but it's not consistent. So if they could put metal mesh here, why can't they put it at the front of the model and at the rear of the model? It doesn't really make much sense in my eyes. Again, it's just money saving. Also, it doesn't have any windows. I know the Auto Art one does have windows, This one doesn't. I'll show you the inside of everything after the exterior. The rear wheels are finished again exactly the same as the front. Not a great level of detail, and unfortunately doesn't look too great. So if we come over to the rear of the model, now again, Minichamps with the paint have done a great job. I think the overall paint application is great, but again, it doesn't warrant the price of this model. If Minichamps kind of made this £100 or £85, then I think that would be better. But this is a £200, more than £200 model car, and it just doesn't live up to the price tag. So again, as we saw in the front, this is just all finished in this cheap plastic, and there's no mesh behind the indicator lights or the reverse lights. And again, on the real car, this was all exposed for cooling. So again, Minichamps have just neglected that detail, probably for cost savings. But again, it just shows on the model, it doesn't look very good in my eyes. I mean, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. The McLaren badge in the middle is okay. The exhausts are done nicely, but the whole main purpose of the rear, the whole cooling, is just done really, really poor. Again, at the bottom, you've got plastic. There's no mesh here, which is annoying because, as I've said, you've got mesh on the air intakes on the side of the model, but not at the rear or the front. So it's very inconsistent with the details and the materials that Minichamps use. So again, it's just a bit of a downer when you consider the price of the model. New was a lot of money, and it just doesn't live up to the price. And when I've got a Maystone model right next to it, you kind of say, what is the difference between this $30 or £20 Maystone version right than this £200 Minichamps version? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments about that one, but in my eyes, I don't see a lot of differences. So let's open up some of these internal parts, and I'll show you guys some of the detail. Now, this is a fully opening die cast model. So now that we've got the model car fully exposed, let's have a look at some of the internal details in this model car and review it and compare it over to the Maystone version. So first of all, you got the McLaren boot at the front of the model. Again, it's okay. There's pretty much no detail in the boot. It's just plasticky. You can hear it. Very plasticky materials. Normally, even on a Hot Wheels Elite model, a Kyosho model, you normally find like a carpeted finish or a velvet finish with a bit more details. But again, nothing here, just plastic. And if we look over to the Maystone version, it's pretty much exactly the same. Plastic, but you would expect it on this car. That's the difference. You wouldn't expect it on the more expensive Minichamps version. So that is again a downer on the model car, I feel. And it's also just on these pretty vulgar dog leg hinges, which stand out really like a sore thumb, and they're not very subtle, and it does feel quite cheap when you're kind of opening and closing the bonnet. So again, a down there for Auto Art. Very hard. You feel like you're kind of breaking it when you're putting it down, but it's okay. Let's have a look at the interior. You've got kind of these kind of gullwing style doors. Now again, at first glance on the interior of this model car, you would say that it's got quite a lot of detail. I'll zoom in just so you can kind of see. I mean, you can see a fair amount of detail there. The driver zone, the dash, the seats. You can see kind of all the buttons on the center console, and more detail in there than you would expect, I suppose. But another thing to counteract that is there's no other use of materials. It's all plastic. There's no carpets on the floor. The seats are plastic. There's no seat belts. It's just all plastic, and it's just all stickers as well. Even the door card finish is all stickered. The seat lines are all sticker. I mean, it's just miles off a Auto Art model. I didn't buy the Auto Art version of this. I should have, in hindsight, I feel. But I went with Minichamps, and it is a bit of a letdown. But it's just a very plasticky model car. Now, if we come over to the engine bay, which I'll have to lift up my camera and show you guys, this is where it gets really, really disappointing. I feel Minichamps have completely neglected most of the engine detail. That's pretty much all you see with the Minichamps McLaren engine. Now, I know McLaren planted the engine way down in the car for better weight distribution, better balance, and better handling, but I'm sure they could have done a better job with that engine. Even the sides of the engine is just all plastic. There's no finish. There's no finish on the oil dipstick area. There's just all it's all plastic. It's all very cheaply done, I feel, and it's just not a nice thing to look at. The engine's supposed to be kind of the main thing on the model car. It's where all the detail is. It's what you pay a lot of money for, and that is it. That is all you get with Minichamps. Whereas if we look over to the Dodge, it's just a much more better looking engine bay. There's just loads more detail. I mean, I know the engine is more exposed in the Dodge than the McLaren, but nevertheless, it's just more detailed in terms of everything. You know, you've even got the battery, the marks on the battery. You've got the windscreen washer marks. You've got the whole engine, really nice detail. With this V10 Dodge, you've got the air intakes on the side here and here. It's just a lot nicer to look at. I would rather in my cabinet display the Dodge fully exposed, the Maystone $30 Dodge, rather than the $250 McLaren. And that shouldn't be the case, but it is in this example. And if I had to give the McLaren a score out of 10, it will probably be 3. Yeah, about 3 out of 10, I feel. The only points I give is the paint application is very good, and the overall look of the model is okay, but as soon as you get into the finer details, it is no better than a cheaper Maystone version. And as I said, I would rather display the Dodge in my cabinet rather than the McLaren. So please let me know in the comments what you guys think on this situation, on this topic, and I'd love to hear from you guys. I reply back to every single comment, and I will see you guys very soon for the next video. Take care.